Okay, welcome back. This is going to be an update on my readings that I got off my box. I'm using my phone video camera, so this might not be as good quality as the camera I had been using, but because I don't have my camera just yet, but I'm hoping these will show up. I think on the last video I did of my test, I wound up, my last test was at 10:15. That was the day after Thanksgiving when I done these tests. But I went ahead and I went clear on up to 2:14 is when I turned my box off because the temperature started changing or started coming down drastically. So I just went ahead and turned it off then. But as you can see here, of course, like I said, I tried to do these at every half an hour intervals, trying to get the best readings I could. One thing I did forget to mention, though, when I first did my test, the outside temperature was at 38 degrees, and pretty much all day it was 38, 39 a couple of times, back down to 38, 37. And I think when I did turn it off, the outside temperature was at 38, so it pretty much stayed between 37, 39 degrees all day, and it was full sun. And right here after 10:15, I think is when the last one I done. I did it again at 10:45 or 10:47 here, and the temperatures in the room really didn't raise up a whole lot. It did raise up a few degrees, and I could tell it. It was 70.9, but the temp inside or coming out of the box did raise up to 113. Then again at 11:15 here, room temperature dropped just 0.2 degrees, not much, but it did raise up to 125.1 degrees coming out of the box. Then again at 11:43, the room temperature did come up to 71.4, and this is the time that the temperature in my box did peak out for the day. It was 128.7 degrees, and again it was 38 degrees outside at that time. But it did peak out at 128.7, and then of course from then on, the room temperature did come up a little bit more. Here was 12:21 was 72 degrees inside, and of course the box temperature coming out was dropped down to 120. And then again at 12:46, room temperature stayed roughly the same. And it dropped down to 112.1, and at 1 o'clock was 72.3 in the room. And but the box temperature was down to 108.7. Then there was a little bit of lapse time in between one and the next one I done was at 2:14 because the box temperature was dropping, and it was 70.3 and 73.8 was what was coming out of the box. And I think the main problem was, since there was still full sun out, but I think what I should have done, or what I need to do, is take my box and kind of turn it a little bit more toward the west, so that way a little bit more of the afternoon sun will stay on it. Because when I did my first readings, of course, that was when I first turned it on. It was at 9:15 that morning, and it was blowing out 59.6 degrees. That's when I first turned it on. But then half an hour later, it almost jumped up 20 degrees. And then within like an hour later, it went from 75 on up to 113. So I mean, this box did heat up pretty quick and pretty fast. So I think I need to go out there and just turn my box slightly a little bit more toward the west, try to get a little bit more of that afternoon sun. And my snap disc does work on my box. I come in today because I wasn't here this morning, and of course we got full sun again today, but it's already like 4 o'clock, so it wouldn't do me much good to turn this thing on. But when I did get home, I went ahead and switched it over to the snap disc side, and my blower motor came right on. So the snap disc is hooked up right, and it does work, but I need to turn it down because I do have it turned up to 130. But I think I want to turn it down to 110 because it is an adjustable snap disc. And over here, that's where I've got my air coming into the box. I think what I'm going to do is later on this afternoon, I'm just going to get me one of the 4-inch couplers that I've got and kind of cut it in half where it'll fit inside this right here, because I want to go and try to get a test where I switch the duct, because this right here is coming out of the bottom of the box, so I want to have it where it's coming out of the top of the box. So I'm just going to switch these 2 ports, and then because the way I've got it now, the air flows down through the box and it's actually hitting the back of the snap disc. It's really not hitting the face of it. So I'll let the air come up through the bottom, and I'll have this motor set over here. That way it'll blow the air from the bottom to the top of the box back into the house if it works any better that way. But yeah, everything, I mean, I've got everything hooked up right. The snap disc does work, so I'll get these things switched over maybe today, and maybe one day this week when I get time I'll run a test, and I'll also get my box. I'll get my box there. I'll get it tilted a little bit more toward the afternoon sun, and see what we get from there. Thanks for watching.